What did we discover in the Deer Lodge prison?
Welcome to Alternate Planes Podcast for another episode.
Welcome, Dennis.
How's it going, bro?
We are developing this podcast.
Yeah.
Each episode. And here we are in a new little location. Not too bad. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about what we discovered at the Deer Lodge prison investigation, what we felt, the top 3 places, in your opinion, of what was the most active part of the investigation.
Sounds good. So, I liked the Deer Lodge prison investigation. I'd really like to go back out there again, probably with less crew this time, for sure. But one of the more active areas, for sure, was the shower room, which is across the hall from what used to be the bakery, and I think they have it set up as a church now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the chapel was the bakery, Chapel Bakery, and then across the way was the shower room. But before it was the shower room, wasn't it like the kitchen? I believe that it was like the kitchen before, and then the shower room. Either way,
no, that I don't remember. But
so that episode is already up for viewing. So check out that episode. It was a very intense investigation. So we started off with the tour. Heather, the curator, awesome lady.
Right, yeah, she's very cool.
She gave us a tour of the entire place that we were able to actually investigate.
Right.
So there's some places that we weren't allowed to go.
Right.
But gave us the entire tour of the entire yard.
Right.
Jail grounds, everything. So when we did the tour, what did you feel in certain places? Did you feel heaviness? Did you feel anything during the daytime?
Right.
In the tour.
Yes, I felt a lot of energetic spots. There's some darkness there, but there's also some spots where the energy really wasn't that bad, and it was actually somewhat welcoming. One of the better spots during the daytime for myself was in the women's prison. In one of those far back cells, I walk in there and I can feel a presence in that cell. Even though it's daytime, it's dark. There's no windows in there, so there's no light coming into that cell room, but I can feel the presence. So I asked it, "Can you show me where the bed is so I can sit down?" And then the metal for the bed pops like an oil can, right? Like this.
Yeah, it was loud. Yeah. I didn't realize that was until reviewing the footage. And it's loud. It's audible.
Oh yeah, it's loud. So then when I turn around and I go to sit down next to the entity, it makes that oil can noise again, really loud, but it's exactly the same noise. So it's like whatever entity was there, and I asked them to show me the bed. They just sat down, and it made that oil can noise. And then I sat down, and then there was the oil can noise.
Yeah. It was interesting. That was during the daytime.
And that was during the daytime, yeah. It was.
And then I got a little sick in the max. So the max security was, I believe, it was max security first, or is the women's prison, and then it was max security because the women got moved across outside of the prison grounds. And man, the things that they would do to make a prisoner be obedient and just behave. They would first, if you're misbehaving, they're going to throw you in max security, right? And it's just like you still got a bed, you still got, you get to come out for 1 hour a day, and if you still can't behave, they tighten the reins even more. They gets to the point where you're gonna be naked, handcuffed to a rail,
right,
on a cold cement ground. And that's like and then I remember on the wall it said, if you do this you go here to max security. If you can't behave, you go to here. You can't behave, you go to here. You can't behave, you go to here. And if you still can't behave, I forget what it said at the bottom. They're basically going to take you up into the woods and make you disappear in a mine.
Right.
So the max security felt some heaviness. I felt enough to where I left. I walked out, and this is all during the tour. Other places that you felt heaviness on the tour?
That shower room, for sure, was a spot that I definitely felt really heavy in. And I know I already mentioned that, but later on that evening, well, I think it was just after the tour, we were trying to figure out where we were going to set everything all up. We went back through that shower room again. We used a prop, which I don't want to say because they'll have to watch the episode.
No spoiler alerts. You got to go check out the episode because we set some specific things up in the shower room for certain reasons.
Right. Well, so as I'm walking through that shower room, all the hair just stands up on end on my arms in this one spot. I'm kind of like I kind of have like a built-in EMF meter, right? So I get into a certain spot and all the hair on my arms will stand up, and then as I get through that energetic area, the goosebumps or the hair it'll just go back down, right? So I walk into that specific spot, all the goosebumps pop up, and then I take 2 or 3 steps and then go back down. I'm like, this is why we're laying the prop.
Mm-hmm.
Right in that spot, because that's where the deed happened.
The deed.
You guys will have to watch the episode to understand what I'm getting at. I don't want to give you too many spoilers. So there's definitely an energy presence there for that particular spot in the shower room, and it's dark. It's a very dark feeling right there in that spot.
And just the atmosphere of the prison itself.
Oh, yeah.
The entire place, the shower room, the entire jailhouse, it's just cement and metal. And it's old cement metal.
Well, a lot of the outer wall is made from granite, and granite has a lot of quartz in it. So.
And what do they use quartz for?
Batteries,
watches,
right?
Yeah.
So if you guys don't know, if you put quartz under a certain amount of pressure, it exerts an electrical energy force. So granite already has the quartz in it, and it's somewhat pressurized simply from the formation of the way it was created. So it's able to harbor these energetic fields. So that entire place is surrounded by that granite.
It has all that energy that's being absorbed through the granite, through the minerals.
Right.
And that's like when I talk about any kind of investigations as far as spiritual or energy and stuff like that. Like my idea is wood, granite, naturally God-made minerals. Right. That stuff absorbs energy, and why wouldn't it put off repetitive energy?
Right.
Like how is it controlled of how it's dispensed the energy?
Right.
You know, there's not like a device on the walls that's saying, "Hey, we're going to exude this energy a certain way." Right. So for me, the skeptic, going into these, especially the Deer Lodge prison, I'm not going to say exactly, but I have a relation to a person that either worked or lived at Deer Lodge prison. You got to watch the episode. So I do have family ties to that prison.
Right.
So bringing the ashes with me. You know, the shower room was pretty intense.
Indeed, it was.
Across the way, we went over to the bakery, and that's where I got a huge spike on the EMF reader.
Right.
Huge spike.
In that room during the daytime when we were doing our walkthrough, I walked in there, and I could feel a presence. Again, the goosebumps just pop up. One of the pews, the benches that are sitting in there, I could feel energy, like as if they were just sitting in the bench.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So I walked up, and I could feel it, so I just sat down right next to it. You know? And as I'm sitting there the whole time, the goosebumps are just standing up on the arms, and I'm like, "Oh, this is really interesting. You know, do you want to talk? You know, like you want to hang out? You know."
Well, like, so after the tour, because we went up to the tower, we went up to some other places.
Yeah. Every place that's permittable, we went. You guys got to understand this. This place is deteriorating. It's very old.
We couldn't go into the theater because it's deteriorating so bad.
Yeah, it had caught fire in I don't know, the 90s, I think, and it's never been rebuilt. So
there's still, you know, it's a non-profit. This place is a historical landmark, but it's a non-profit, and so they can only do so much with the money that they have and the hands that they have to do it.
Right.
And I kind of was disappointed we couldn't go into the theater because that's where they had the gallows. They literally still had gallows in the theater. Well, that's Montana right there for you.
Right.
Form of execution.
There's no better way than to have it a public display.
Yeah, it's you make the example.
Exactly.
If you don't want to do this happen to you, don't do the crime.
That's right.
It's a scare fear tactic.
Right. Well, that's one of them. Yeah. I mean, they've been doing it for centuries. You know, the English were you know, they'd put your head into a guillotine and right.
You know, a quick when they drop you from the gallows, a quick drop and a sudden stop.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Once the night started to fall on this investigation, where did we start the investigation?
In the main cell block, first floor, we went into, all of us went into separate cells. We went in groups as two. When I went into my cell, it was just me and the camera guy. And we sat in there, and I did my meditation. And halfway through the meditation, we started hearing some weird stuff.
Hearing weird stuff. We set up a GoPro in there. We set up an SLS camera.
Yeah.
We set up other devices so we'll see if we caught anything. And in the shower room, during the meditation on the GoPro, also the laser grid.
Well, you sure you want to even say all that? Because they're going
to. Well, I'm not going to. No, well, the laser grid. We set that stuff up in the shower room. That's fine.
Yeah.
However, we did catch some stuff that I won't talk about on the GoPro during the meditation. That stuff. And also keep in mind, I'm still doing a lot of the editing, and so this video particularly, when I went to go review the GoPro footage, one, it's really, really dark, and so I waited till it was nighttime, and then it was late at night, so I was all, you know what, it's about 45 minutes, I'm going to sit here and I scoured every single bit of that footage, and I caught some stuff.
Right.
That, gotta watch. Go check out the episode. Let us know in the comments what you believe you see or hear.
So you had an interesting event at home while you were doing this editing. Didn't you have something fall like?
So editing this footage, and this was last year we did this investigation.
Yeah.
I was editing one day, and the light that we're using right here, we used for a live, and that was sitting behind my camera on the windowsill. Sorry, behind the computer on the windowsill, on the camera on the windowsill. That made no sense. So that light was on the windowsill, and it has a solid platform. Like, it's a solid stance, you know, it's not moving.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, it fell at me. Just, whoa! And I had to catch it. And I'm like, that's weird. And then shortly after that, I'm sitting there doing something on my phone at the computer, and my blue blocker glasses,
Oh, yeah.
the frame just went clink
It just
and
snapped.
broke like that. I've never experienced glasses breaking on my face.
No.
So,
That's just not normal.
you know, and that video is on our channel. I did a little short. So go check that out. It's interesting. I wasn't able to capture anything. However, people were like, that's not coincidence. But I'm the skeptic. Right. So I'm all...
Right.
But of course, I grabbed the light and I tried to test it. I'm like, how could have this fallen? Was it scooted forward to where the balance point was off? You know, to where it could fall at me.
Yeah, but what would cause that vibration?
That's the thing too.
Right.
What would have made it at all fall?
Right. I know some of you guys are going to think, well, especially our California viewers, well, maybe there was a little quake.
And the Earth is also spinning at thousands of miles an hour too, so we have to keep that slightly into consideration.
Yeah, I don't think.
No.
Nah, I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I'm the skeptic. I don't know. I didn't feel anything weird. It was just a weird situation.
Right. So we do have some tremors and little earthquakes here and there, but it's usually nothing to write home about.
I've never even felt any of the earthquakes that have happened in Montana. People are like, did you feel that?
Right,
Well, no, I didn't.
Right.
Didn't at all.
Yeah, no, it's not like California where, I mean, if it starts shaking, you know it. Yeah, exactly.
Ah!
Right. Or some of the places along the Appalachian Trail, you know, you get some earthquakes and stuff. But, yeah, here in Missoula, we just don't really get it. Oh, not enough to move that heavy base light.
No. And so, just even editing the footage, I experienced some weird stuff. We experienced some weird stuff while we were there. But also there was some areas that we felt energy during the daytime. And so we focused on those areas for our investigation. And sometimes our thoughts of what we feel during the daytime don't match up what we feel in the nighttime.
Right.
Some areas were active, and some that we thought were not going to be active and were active, and areas that we thought were going to be crazy active kind of weren't.
Right.
But not every single one of them.
Right.
So what's like the top 3 areas in that investigation that you felt the most energy, presence, possibility of something else there?
Right. The women's prison or max security, whichever one you want to call it. The shower room. Probably the main floor jail cells where I did the meditation.
Yeah. So part of this tour as well, the history of the Montana State Prison, there was a riot in 1959.
Mm-hmm.
And in that riot, it didn't last that long. But they had to shoot a bazooka.
Yeah,
National Guard came in.
The National Guard came in to shut down the riot, and they utilized a bazooka, and they shot at that main tower that we went into.
And you can even see the broken wall, the stone that had been blasted. It's not a huge hole. It's not a gaping hole, but I can't imagine being up there and you just, or being the guy shooting the bazooka.
Right.
In Deer Lodge, Montana in the 1950s.
Right.
These young whippersnappers, National Guard kids, they're like, I can finally get to shoot a bazooka.
Right. Well, I couldn't imagine utilizing a bazooka or any military weapon against U.S. citizens, regardless if they're in prison or not.
Yeah.
They're still a U.S. citizen, and that kind of bugs me a bit. I think Deer Lodge was a pretty interesting investigation. I definitely want to go back. We need to stay longer.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to be there from sunset to sunrise.
Do an overnight previously we've talked about the differences between night investigations and day investigations and how the energy is different at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you on that one as far as wanting to go back to do a longer investigation. The stuff that we did experience, to you, what does it all mean?
Well,
what do you take from all of it?
Well, for me, the spirits that decide to stay there are definitely still there. There are many that are still present at that prison, which I find really interesting. Why would they want to stay there? You know what I mean?
Like, do you feel that they have a choice to stay there, or do you feel that they're stuck, or they're lost, or like you know what I mean? Because I'm like, if you die and you've given your life to Christ, you go to heaven, right? It feels like that's a already planned out path. Like, it's already good to go. So how does one get lost or stuck, or do they?
I think it's a choice. Because, if you have lived your life in a fashion that has put you in prison,
Mm-hmm.
especially someplace like Deer Lodge, that was a bad place.
Yeah, because it was in the middle of nowhere back in the 1800s,
Exactly.
late 1800s, early 1900s.
Exactly. A very, very bad place. So, when you pass and the white light has made itself present, now you're supposed to go through that. But going through that, if you were going to be judged upon those sins.
So do you think that maybe a few of these spirits their destination was hell?
Right.
And they go, no!
Yeah.
Nope. They're gonna kick and scream and stay here.
Basically. Yeah. That's kind of the way I look at it.
Stubborn sons of bitches.
Exactly.
I don't want to go. Well,
Right.
don't make the stupid choices that get you in the spot.
Exactly. But that's the thing. I mean, if they've given themselves over before death, then they shouldn't have anything to worry about sin-wise. But who's really to say? I mean,
It doesn't matter what we do with our devices, our investigation, doesn't matter what we do in our investigations with our tools, with our feelings, with our experiences. You have more experience in all this than I do, but I'm getting there, right? With each investigation,
exactly.
I learn new things.
Exactly.
And my question was,
it came and it went.
It came and went. The thought train has derailed all the time.
Let me ask you. So, as the skeptic, what do you feel you walked away from Deer Lodge Prison with?
Me personally, I don't feel that I walked away with anything attached to me. I don't feel like anything was super spooky. There's only one time that I felt, tingles up my spine.
That
I'm all,
that was in the solitaire.
No, but I'm not going to say where. Watch the episode.
Gotta watch the episode.
I was really excited to go to the prison because everyone talked about the prison and they're like, oh my gosh, it's haunted and I've experienced this, all these stories, right? And they hyped it up for me.
Yeah.
And so they hyped it up to where I was like, man, this is going to be crazy. And what I'm learning with all these investigations that you see more and experience, I feel more by reviewing the footage.
Right.
So I don't know. I took away some, the shower room situation. The top 3 situations for me would be the shower room. That was weird as fuck. The hole right? And max security during the daytime.
Right.
The nighttime.
Right.
So, just like the stuff that we caught in the shower room,
Right.
WTF, mate? I don't know.
Right.
So it just leaves me with more questions, which I feel that we bring up more questions than we do answers, which I'm not here to find 100% answers, because I don't think we ever will.
No.
There's no way for me personally to say this is 100% yes or no. This is 100% happened or didn't happen.
Right.
I tell people I can give a guarantee like a good hand sanitizer, 99.9%. Like I can never give you 100%.
Right.
Because it's just I don't know. To me, I don't have all the answers, and I never will.
No.
I know some things. I know what I feel inside and my experiences and what I felt in those moments.
Right. And that's really all we have to go by. All the equipment, cameras, and picking up orbs or picking up weird noises here and there. You always have. I mean, and I'm even somewhat skeptical. Was it a bug, right? Or what made that sound? What was it? A bird that flew in through an open door and banged off one of the pipes?
There was a time reviewing the shower room GoPro footage to where you could hear, because the prison is still in the middle of town.
Yeah.
Like it's in the middle of the town, so people drive past the prison all the time to go to the bar, to go to the grocery store.
Oh yeah, it's right on Main Street.
It's right on Main Street. So there was a time where I was like, "What was that noise?" But then you just listen closely. There's a big old truck with a broken muffler or something. Just
Right.
So have to take all that into consideration as well.
Right.
Because you can't go into any of these investigations thinking it's going to be like a movie. Because that's what I thought some of this stuff was going to be, especially Deer Lodge Prison. I thought it was going to be like a movie to where you're like, door slamming, and we're all, whoa, and we're running.
Slimer comes out.
Yeah. Who are you going to call? Alternate planes.
Alternate plane.
But, so, knowing that, and we've done, a few investigations since then, knowing all that, I go to the investigations more calm and relaxed and open to what's there.
Right.
What can we capture with our man-made devices? We didn't make them, but man made the devices, created them to measure levels of energy or radiation or wind or the SLS camera picking up stick figures, possible entities.
Right.
So,
yeah.
What is, did I already ask the question? What does it all mean? Oh, would you go back? Yes.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And I can't wait to go back, actually. I want to get back there, and I want to, again, stay from dusk till dawn.
Dusk till dawn.
Well, when we first went, it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon or so, and like you were saying, energy levels are totally different from the daytime to the nighttime. And I always try and say, if a place is haunted, it's always haunted. It doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime. It's just a matter of different energy levels and what you're going to feel more than what you're going to be able to capture on camera, if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So, I don't know that we'll ever get an absolute answer as to what's going on or why certain entities choose to stay behind instead of move on. I don't think we'll ever get those answers, but I know it happens. I know that it's real, and that to me is really all that matters. Trying to capture as much as we can for our audience,
For you guys.
Right.
We do this for you guys.
Right.
And I watch like shows like Mythbuster and stuff like that, and I just realized that they're actually, none of them are actual scientists that went to school to be a scientist.
They're like engineers.
They're engineers and stuff like that, but they were solving scientific questions.
Right.
I'm not saying, like, I'm not comparing us to Mythbusters, but you do something enough, you're going to see the patterns and you're going to see the differences. And what I've noticed with a lot of this paranormal stuff, a lot of, especially paranormal podcasts, and, to each their own, no judgment, but a lot of these podcasts, they just talk about stuff.
Right.
They talk about what other people do.
Right.
We actually go into the field ourselves and experience stuff, hunt for stuff, look for stuff, and then we come back and we talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
We're not just reviewing some footage.
That's right. We're not just scouring the internet to try and find stuff to talk about, and try and prove the existence of somebody else's footage. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
We're actually
other episodes we will be, we'll be reviewing footage and not talking about all of our this. We're not going to always just talk about our investigations, but we do go out and we investigate, and then we talk about the investigations.
Right.
Stuff like that. So I feel like just boots on the ground. It's kind of like instead of a person can get a degree at a university by just sitting in a classroom and regurgitating information that they just read out of a book, compared to the person that reads and regurgitates the stuff in the book, but then also goes outside with their feet and their hands and their body, and they experience it themselves. Right. They get in the dirt, they get in the grime, they get in the trenches.
Right.
And that's what I have respect for anybody that does this kind of stuff, but the ones that are boots on the ground.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Field researchers.
Exactly.
That's
you think Indiana Jones, the movie, would have been interesting if he was just at the university the entire time?
No.
No, man.
Right. Not at all. No.
Fighting Nazis and everything.
Right. All from behind his desk.
So what's next, Dennis? A lot of viewers have been asking since UAP and UFOs. That topic has gotten so hot over the past 6 months to a year, especially over the past few weeks with all the release of the government files.
Yes.
And people are like, well, there's way more. I'm like, I know, but this is the most they've ever released in a very long time. Okay.
This is the most that's ever been released from the government.
We're going to talk about some UAPs. We've had some UAP investigations ever since Borrego, and we have more to come.
The UFO stuff is very interesting.
Mm-hmm. This little guy right here, Deer Lodge Prison. That was a great one. I'm excited to go back. Let us know what do you guys think. What did you see? What did you experience? Do you believe us? What's your take on what you heard and saw? Let us know. Comment below.
Thanks for watching the Alternate Planes podcast.
See you on
the next one.
Love it.
Do you believe in alternate planes?